Welcome back, everybody. All right, Eddie List, thank you for writing in. I like your comment today. You think the biggest mistakes of startups are, number one, undercapitalization, two, lack of understanding on the projected market, and three, overzealous projected sales numbers. Good point. I agree with all of those, and we can discuss all of this with Marley Majcher joining us from Los Angeles. You're the author of But Are You Making Any Money? Good question. And also with The Party Goddess. So thank you so much, Marley, for coming on today. So I guess really...
Thank you for having me.
Really quickly, what are these three big mistakes that most small businesses or entrepreneurs make? And I don't know if you heard, but right before we went to break, I was saying how the Kaufman Index of Entrepreneurial Activity reported that 564,000 new businesses are started each and every month for the annual tally of 6.8 million new firms a year. And most of them fail.
It's a crazy number.
Number one. It is a crazy number. So how do you not fail? How do you not become a statistic?
How do you not become a statistic? Well, three things. Number one is so many entrepreneurs don't have a system for tracking their time in the first place, and that is a problem I see. It's like, think of it like going on a diet. You know, if you want to go on a diet and you write everything down that you eat, all of a sudden you find where you're wasting all these calories. In business, it's the same thing. You need this system for tracking your time. The second thing that we do is we spend time on things that aren't beneficial to the bottom line. And being in business, the goal of being in business and the goal of business versus a nonprofit or a hobby is profit, right? So you need to spend the time on things that are going to fatten up that bottom line, not on things that are going to, not do anything but just are time wasters. And the third thing is that we don't anticipate how much capital, I know that was a point that you just made earlier, we don't anticipate how much capital it really takes to start a business and to keep it going. I think that's why so many people fail in the beginning too, is they think, okay, yes, I need business cards. Yes, I might need a website. But they don't realize all of these other expenses that go to having a startup. Like if you're going to do anything with retail and you're going to have sales tax, you're going to have to put a bond up, or you're going to, if you move into a new rental space, you're going to need to have the first and last month's rent, things that can really sap your cash flow. And most people aren't prepared to go for the length of time that they need to make it to past that point.
Yeah, so Marley, those are some great points. So not only do you need money for items you might not have thought you would ever need, you have to be able to get that money. So let's bring up a full screen right now, and we could just go over some of these initial costs that can really get a small business as they're trying to get into the market. So like you said, we've got business cards, a website, insurance, maintenance, marketing, a phone system, and sales tax. And you just mentioned sales tax. So those are some things that are not so obvious to a lot of people. Is there a certain place where small businesses can go to get some more information on all of this?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I think it's so important, just some of the things that we mentioned, to Google, create a business plan, even if that's just a really quick and dirty business plan that forces you to lay out all of these expenses. So it's not just the website, but it's your web designer who's maybe going to create your logo and everything else. And to really do a business plan with forecasting of your expenses and what projected revenue, and then how much you need to live while this business is starting. So definitely, Google, there's some great business plan software out there. It is so much easier these days to create a business plan than it ever was.
Right.
So
what kind of software? Do you know offhand some of those programs?
I know
sites?
one. Yes, I know one for sure is BizPlan Pro, I believe it's called.
BizPlan Pro.
And correct. And you can Google that. Another great resource is SCORE, which is the retired executives and the Association of Retired Executives. And basically what happens is these are experienced business people who now are retired and they want to give back to entrepreneurs. It's also crucial to have a mentor. Have somebody that can really help you through some of these pitfalls that are not textbook things. I mean, so many things that get us in trouble in business are not the obvious stuff. It's wait, what do? I didn't know I needed to put up a bond for my sales tax, or wait a minute, I didn't know that I would need to get that insurance would be so expensive. Yet things like that are absolutely crucial, and you have to have that. So talking to somebody who's been there, watching programs like this, reading articles, there are just some amazing resources. And quite frankly, the Fox Business website is an amazing resource. There have been so many times when I've Googled different topics and come back to your website and thought, wow, that's great. And I know this sounds completely random, but Twitter is a really great source. There's so many really good business people on Twitter who are very proactive about tweeting helpful links. And I've come up with some really good resources just by following interesting people on Twitter, you know, whose opinion I like and respect, and it's free. So
Marley,
just keep educating yourself.
Are excellent points. Thank you for the kudos on the Small Business Center on foxbusiness.com. Kate Rogers would appreciate that. Yeah, and SCORE sounds really interesting as well. You know, I have a lot of good friends who've dabbled in different markets, and they're trying to start their own businesses, and they say it is such an educational experience because you don't realize how much you don't know. And it seems that people go into things being very confident, overly confident, if not arrogant,
Right.
and it seems like that can kill you at the end, because it's like anything else. You say it's going to cost $10 and it always costs you $30 no matter what, right? It's so hard to come under budget.
Well, and it's like construction. You know, they say, yeah, take the number and double it or triple it. Business is exactly the same way. And what I always tell people is, plan that it's going to cost you twice or 3 times the amount to start your business that you think it's going to cost. And then if you've projected that you're not going to be making money or taking a salary for 4 months, triple that. And if you can last a year without a salary or without replacing the salary that you had prior, you probably are good to go, because but do that homework ahead of time. There is no reason, I can't think of any business that you need to jump into, you know, today versus 2 weeks from now, that doing a little bit of research, checking out some really great websites, and then just also realizing that as a business owner, and this is something that I missed early on, is you constantly have to educate yourself. You constantly need to take classes. You need to take online webinars so that you continue to really sharpen that saw, you know, so that you're not just thinking, oh, okay, I'm really good at making cupcakes. Now I can go into the cupcake business. Cupcake business isn't about, yes, it is about making great cupcakes, but it's about, you know, the employees and the staff and the distribution, and there's so many things. And if you become a lifelong learner, it's going to be much easier for you.
Marley Majcher, thank you so much for joining us. Cute shirt, by the way. And thank you for putting all of our small businesses out there on diets, because it seems like they need to be on one to get past that crucial 1-year mark. All right, guys, we're going to break.
Start
and we
tracking
will be,
that time.
Yeah, we'll be back.